Hello, future toppers. Welcome to a Streak initiative of Civils Delhi to ensure consistency in your day-to-day preparation. My name is Santosh Gupta and I will be taking up the prelim sections. When it comes to prelims, there are questions of three types, both factual, conceptual and elimination type. And you have to use three-step process to solve the question. And of course, you have to do it within a minute. In this three-step process, you will analyze a statement for whether it is factual, whether it is conceptual, or you could eliminate it. So, without much ado, let's start. Topic of the day is Supreme Court Judicial Review, Judicial Activism, and Public Interest Litigation. Let's solve question based for the prelims based on these topics. First is Supreme Court. Let's consider a statement under Article 71 of Constitution, exclusive forum for adjudicating dispute between election of president and vice president is Supreme Court. That is true. For normal other MP and MLA, they have to go to High Court through an election petition. So under one is true. And dispute related to election of Prime Minister and a Speaker, because they are the MP, so their dispute will be decided by the High Court through an election petition. So option 2 will be incorrect and only A, that is only 1, will be correct. Again, a question on Supreme Court. With reference to the Constitution of India, consider the following statement. No High Court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law to be constitutionally invalid. This is not true. High Court can declare central law invalid. It happened in the case of Section 377 of IPC. Again, it was restored by the Supreme Court, and again it was declared invalid. Those provisions only which made gay sex a criminal offence. So again, option 2, a amendment to the Constitution of India cannot be called into question by Supreme Court of India. Just a few years back, 99th Amendment, that is for NJAC, was called into question and it was declared invalid. So the statement 2 is also not correct. Hence option D will be true, neither 1 or 2. Next question on Supreme Court only. The power to increase the number of judges in the Supreme Court of India is vested in President of India, Parliament, Chief Justice of India and Law Council. This is a factual question and one has to remember that it is the Parliament, and in case of High Court it is the President of India. Next question again on the Supreme Court. The power of Supreme Court of India to decide the dispute between center and state fall under its original jurisdiction. So that is, we know by the fact, but we have to remember also other jurisdiction advisory, that is Article 143, appellate, criminal and civil cases can be appealed to Supreme Court. Writ jurisdiction in case of fundamental rights. So that original dispute of election, dispute of president or vice president, or the dispute between center and state or among the state, that is their original jurisdiction. And logically also only Supreme Court can impartially adjudicate their dispute between center or state. So C will be the correct answer. Next question is on judicial review. In India, judicial review implies we have given 4 options. Let's start analyzing from D. To eliminate the wrong, the power of judiciary to review its own judgment, given earlier in a similar or different case. That is being by part of court of record. Judiciary has this power. All adjudicating, all High Court and Supreme Court judge have this power to review their own judgment. That is not the judicial review. The power of judiciary to review all the legislative enactment before they are sent to the president. That does not happen. Judiciary only reviews when it is assented by the president, when it becomes a law. The power of judiciary to question the wisdom of laws enacted by legislature. Power of judiciary is not to the question of law, not only the review to check its constitutionality and whether it does not violate the fundamental rights or whether the authority does not exceed its jurisdiction. So the power of judiciary to pronounce upon the constitutionality of laws and executive order That implies here judicial review. That is option A will be correct. Next question again on judicial review. The 44th Amendment to the Constitution of India introduced an article placing election of Prime Minister beyond judicial review. That did not happen by the 44th Amendment. It was done probably before that during Indira Gandhi regime. And 44th Amendment came only to correct all the anomalies created by 42 Amendment, which is also called a mini constitution. So first is not true. Second of statement, Supreme Court of India struck down 99th Amendment to the Constitution of India as being validity of independence of judiciary. Just now we discussed that independence of judiciary is also a basic structure and it violates the separation of power between judiciary and executive. So that it was struck down in NJAT case. That is option B only will be the option true. Next question again on the judicial review. The Constitution of India defined its basic structure in terms of federalism, secularism, fundamental rights, and democracy. In this statement, these are true only by judiciary judgments. Not Constitution of India has defined this. Only Keshavanand Bharati case in 1973 brought this concept, that is something called basic structure, and it cannot be violated by the Parliament through its amendment of the Constitution. The Constitution of statement 1 will be wrong. Constitution of India provides for judicial review to safeguard the citizen liberties and preserve the ideas on the Constitution is based. Article 13 itself provides that any law derogatory to the fundamental right shall be violated. Also, it provides Article 32, which allows Supreme Court to issue writs. 226 issue writs by High Court. So option 2 will be correct. Through judicial review, higher judiciary, that is Supreme Court and High Court, review the both executive and legislative measures by the Parliament and government to protect civil liberties and the ideas of Constitution. So only 2 will be true here. This is a question on judicial activism. When judicial review moves beyond its scope, then generally it becomes a judicial activism. Judicial activism came in India with Justice P.N. Bhagwati and in the case of Bandhuwa Mazdoor case, where it was envisaged that those poor and unconnected people on behalf of someone, they can file a petition in Supreme Court and they can be heard by the effective justice can be given. So PIL is basically an example of judicial activism. One can understand this way: judicial review, judicial activism, and then when it becomes more, then it can be a judicial overreach. Next question again on judicial activism. A judiciary plays an important role in upholding and promoting the rights of citizens in the country. Yes, judiciary takes their cases and it dilutes the doctrine of locus standi, that anybody on the behalf of poor and vulnerable can file a PIL in the court and their rights will be ensured. And in case of Maneka Gandhi also, judiciary went beyond the step and made broad substantive due process in India in case of procedure established by law under Article 21 for protection of life and liberty. Supreme Court also under his judicial activism cancelled the 2G spectrum case, because 2G spectrum license, because it was not provided through a fair and transparent process. It made the judicial process more participatory and democratic. Yes, because it is said that only through PIL and judicial activism, Supreme Court of India became the Supreme Court of Indians. So here, all of them will be true. That is option D. Thank you for attending to this session.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Civils Daily.